Hello everyone, welcome to ChessVisor, your wise choice to improve your chess. In today's video, I am going to show you one of my games in which I played couple of brilliant games to finish the game. And if you are new here, check the channel's previous videos and playlist, and if you like them, then consider subscribing to the channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified for the future videos. And please feel free to join our live streaming every Tuesday weekly 9:45 p.m. Indian Standard Time. So without any further delay, let's get started. So I started the game with e4, my opponent replied with c5. So here I went knight f3, just developing a piece, and he went d6. It's a normal Sicilian move, nothing out of the ordinary. So d4, c takes d4, and then knight takes d4. And after that he went knight f6. Okay, he calls out my b1 knight to defend my e4 pawn. And here black has a number of choices to play. Maybe he can try the a6 and then followed by e5, the knight off variation, but he chose this move, that is g6, and it is a classical move of the dragon variation. He is going for the proper dragon variation, and here my idea is very simple. I always play only one setup against the dragon, that is bishop to e3, queen to d2, and then queen set castling, maybe bishop e2, f3, g4, and then h4, h5. So like that I will try to attack. So in this game also I followed my own setup, like bishop e3, bishop to g7, and here the normal move to continue, like we could try the pawn f3 to stop immediate knight to g4 idea, but I did not play that move. So rather I played bishop to e2. So here he simply castled on the king side, and I played queen to d2. And this move is not only prepares the castling move, but also it prepares the move bishop h6 to exchange the strong bishop from the black's side. So here he went knight c6, and I castled on the queen side. So bishop to d7, developing move, and then I wantedly just dropped my knight on b3. It's because sometimes when I play bishop to h6 by keeping the knight on d4, he may insert this move, so that will be annoying. So I thought, okay, I should save my knight first and then go for the exchange. So I went knight b3, and he played one logical move here, that is rook to c8. Okay, after rook to c8, I played king b1. Okay, so just a prophylaxis move, and it is defending a2. In some variations it is there will be some pressure on a2 pawn, so I played king b1. So here he went knight e5. Okay, his idea is very simple. With the help of the rook, he wants to fork my queen and the bishop. So I did not care about that, because I want to chop that knight once it arrives on the c4 square. So I went f3. Okay, because now the g4 square is multiple times controlled, right? So I cannot leave that g4 square, so I played f3, and as per his plan he played knight c4, and I immediately took the knight. So after that rook takes c4, and I think I have the time to play bishop h6, not immediately, but here instead of that I played bishop h6. Actually the right move or the good variation for white to continue here with the pawn move. So just a pawn move, it's just hitting the the knight. The knight has only one square to go to. If suppose if you are thinking why not capturing the pawn, if you capture like this, then knight to c5 wins the piece. Otherwise the queen is in a pin, so that's going to be hard for black. So he has to go back to the home square, and that is completely better for white. But here I did not go for that line, and rather I played bishop h6. So after bishop h6, he immediately took my bishop, and that helped my queen to move to the h6 square. But his idea was simple, because he wants to capture on c3. He wants to give up the exchange. But the problem is I managed to connect the rooks much earlier, and my knight is there for the king's defense. Okay, he somehow managed to cripple my pawn structure, that's fine. I have got the double pawns on the c file, that's okay. But my queen is active, and none of his pieces can immediately attack or create any attack, uh, uh, any strong attack, right? So I thought, okay, it is okay to play. So and then he immediately attacked my pawn, so queen c7, and I went back with the queen to d2 to defend the pawn, and he went bishop e6. I don't think it's a right move to play in this position. Okay, it's not creating any big threat. Even if he captures that, that is going to help my pawn to undouble itself, right? So I don't think it's a right move. Maybe he wanted to reroute the knight like this. I don't know what's his plan. But I went king b2 to defend the pawn. Maybe the rook is coming to c8. Sometimes it will be putting pressure on the c3 by extra piece, right? So I played this move, and here it is better to play the immediate h4. Okay, so immediate h4, and then he has to play this move, and then g4 is coming. So this is how this attacking style continues. And here I went king b2 instead of h4. So he played a5, okay, threatening to trying to remove this knight from the king side, sorry, the queen side. So I went immediately knight to d4. Here he played bishop to c4. Actually, okay, I'm attacking his bishop, so he went away. That's fine, but the problem is it is blocking the c file. Okay, now his own piece is blocking the attacking c file. So what I thought, I can simply drop the king here, and then I can, if required, I can always bring my other rook into the b file to defense, right? So I thought okay, it is okay to play, so I just simply drop the king. So he played rook to c8, and immediately I went rook to b1, and then he played knight to d7. So okay, he vacated the square much earlier, and he wanted to reroute his knight like this. So I went h4 now. Okay, it is, I think it's the right time to push and open the position. There are no defenders around the king, so I immediately played that move, and he blundered the game immediately with a knight to e5. Why it's a blunder? Because this move does not stop my h5 idea. Okay, one more thing is, it is not creating any big problem, but the h5 is a big problem for black. You will see in a minute. So h5, and he went king h8. I think maybe king to f8 and then to e8 could be a better choice, but he played king h8 immediately, and I immediately took the pawn. Because of this absolute pin, he cannot take back with the h pawn, so he has to take with the f pawn. After f takes g6, and I went to queen h6. So I'm threatening mate in the next move, but what he does here, he played bishop to g8. Now the bishop is kind of the only defender defending the mate on h7. So I took the advantage of this, and I played the first brilliant move of the game is rook to b3. Okay, you cannot touch the rook, otherwise it's a mate. So he cannot touch the rook. So I went rook b3. And here, okay, it's you are playing rook to b3, but what about a4? Okay, he thought, okay, he can just kick away my rook, and crash through the c3 and checkmate me. And actually, if I miss one move here, he is going to capture here, and once he moves the knight, and the queen will be there to defend. Okay, there are some other threats or some other variation possible for white, sorry, black. He can easily attack me. So rather, he played a4. Okay, this is not the right way to play the position. So I immediately played my second brilliant move of the game, that is knight to e6. Now the simple move is threatening the queen, as well as we are threatening the mate on g7. Here he doesn't have a option, because if he wants to save the queen, the king is going to lose. Otherwise, if he takes the knight, then it's game over. But in the game, he played a takes b3, and I simply checkmated him on g7. So thank you so much for watching this video till the end. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you don't like it, you know what to do. And if you are new here, please consider subscribing to the channel and press the bell icon to get notified for the future videos. So there are multiple playlists and videos are available in the channel, so please feel free to check it. And also we are doing live streams on every Tuesday weekly, so 9:45 p.m. Indian Standard Time. So probably the next week I'm going to play a subscribers challenge. So please join the live stream and chat with me. So once again, thank you so much for watching till the end, and this is Chess Wiser, your wise choice to improve your chess.